She broke barriers in sports and entertainment, and now she is telling her story. Jayne Kennedy, the first Black woman to host the NFL Today, is back in D.C. to talk about her new memoir, Plain Jane, and her incredible journey from Hollywood to history. Our Wisdom Martin had the opportunity to chat with her earlier today.
Here with the legend, the icon, Jayne Kennedy. You have a new book.
Yes, I do.
It's called Plain Jane.
Plain Jane. It is what it is.
You're anything but plain. You're an icon. But so tell me about the book.
Oh gosh, there's a lot.
Without giving all of it away, because we want people to read it. So.
Well, originally, when the publishers bought the book, they said, well, you're going to have to do 375 pages. And I said, oh, great, I already have 895 written, and I'm still writing. But it's a story of my journey. It's not just about the Hollywood part of my life that everybody is familiar with. Of course, that's a part of it.
Right.
But I go all the way back to, when I was 4 years old.
Wow.
I go back to my very first memory was I wasn't even 1 year old. My very first memory, and I actually remember it because it was so terrifying that I've never forgotten it. So yeah.
Do they have to read the book, or are you going to?
Yeah, you got to read the book.
You got to read the book to get that part. Okay. So when did Jayne Kennedy know that you were going to be the Jayne Kennedy? You know what I'm talking? Before television, you were like a beauty. You were beautiful. Everybody loved you. Everybody was like, that's Jayne Kennedy. When did that happen for you, or when did that register for you?
Well, I mean, when I was 4 years old, I used to tell everybody I was going to be in television.
Okay.
And we had these cat eye sunglasses with rhinestones, and I would dance around the yard, and my grandma would say, look at Fancy Prancy. She can grow up and be a movie star if she wants to. But then I got involved in sports. I was involved in politics. Everything that I could possibly do, it's always been a part of who I am, that I do all of it, not just pick one thing and go forward.
Right.
And so that's sort of what my career has done as well. I've done acting, singing, dancing, modeling, even producing my own exercise program, which was #3 in the country.
Wow.
And so, I've never let someone say, this is new, stop me. So when the idea of being the host of the NFL Today, came along, of course I said, I can do that.
But that was challenging, because at that time, you were a woman and a Black woman.
Yes.
In a boys' club.
Yes.
That had to be challenging.
Absolutely. They did not want a woman for that job. The media did not. And the network did not want a Black woman for that job.
So how'd you overcome?
I just did the best I could, because I went to the audition, and they had said that, they were, I think, 16 that they brought in to New York for the audition. And so 5 minutes of teleprompter with, and then 5 minutes with Brent, and then 5 minutes of interviewing someone. And they didn't tell us who we were going to interview until the very last minute, the night before. So they didn't want any of the 16 contestants to have like an upper hand in terms of access. But this was back in the 78. So we only had 3 networks. Libraries were closed. There was no cell phone. There was no research that you can generate from any source. And so, you had to just wing it on your own. And so I called a friend of mine who played in the NBA, Ron Allen, and he said, Jayne, what you have to do is make a friend. He said, don't worry about what they think and what the answers are going to be. Just make them comfortable enough so that they can be open with you. And so that's what I took to the interview with me. And I ended up getting the job, but they still only gave me a 6-week contract.
But what turned the tide for them?
What turned the tide was my second week, only my second week, and I was there, and I overheard the people in Sports Spectacular, which I didn't work for them. Their offices were down the hall from the NFL Today. But I overheard them yelling and screaming they couldn't get the interview post-fight with Muhammad Ali fighting Spinks in New Orleans Friday night. And this was Friday. And I said, I can get you the interview.
Now, that is just a snippet of this compelling conversation between Jayne Kennedy and our Wisdom Martin. To catch the entire interview, be sure to stream A Moment of Wisdom. It's streaming on our WUSA 9 Plus app, which you can download for free. Wisdom sits down with the movers and shakers right here among us in the DMV, and you can download again our app on your TV or phone and watch for free.